Right behind me, I have the all-new, brand new 2026 Cadillac Vistiq Luxury. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Jason and I do reviews on vehicles here in Canada, so reviews just like this. If you love car reviews, be sure to like this video and also subscribe to the channel. And also thank you to Applewood Cadillac for allowing me to review their Vistiq. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over the different models that you can get with the brand new Cadillac Vistiq, the safety features that you get with this particular model, the exterior, the interior, the infotainment system, and of course the pricing. And like I mentioned, this is a brand new model from Cadillac for their fully EV lineup, and this is a 3-row SUV. Now in terms of the different trims that you can get when it comes to this vehicle here, you've got 4 to pick from. So you've got the luxury, you've got the sport, premium luxury, or the platinum. And in terms of the safety features, well, you do get quite a few safety features with this, and this is going to include things like the enhanced automatic emergency braking, intersection automatic emergency braking, rear cross traffic braking, reverse automatic braking, forward collision alert, LED reflective windshield collision alert, front pedestrian and bicyclist braking, side bicyclist alert, rear pedestrian alert, blind zone steering assist, driver attention assist, and the traffic sign recognition. And since this is a full EV, there's no engine or anything, but these do come standard with the dual motor, which is the all-wheel drive of course. And in terms of power, this puts out 615 horsepower and 650 pound-foot of torque. And in terms of the battery pack that this one has, they do have about a 102 kilowatt hour battery pack. And in terms of range, if you're wondering, well, this can do about 491 kilometers of range on a full charge. All right, let's start off in the front of this beauty. I love the way that this looks. And if you're not familiar with the Cadillac EV lineup, they all pretty much look the same from the front. Like back there, you see an optic. It's kind of like a thinner look, but this one has a bigger look to it. And then of course the Escalade has even bigger. But I love the designing on this. It's so futuristic looking and very cool, and it pops out. So let's start off at the bottom here. So on your bumper area, I love this middle piece. It's all gloss black and definitely looks very cool. And then on the corners here, you do have these chrome trim pieces which also stick out. Behind the license plate underneath here, you do kind of have like this mini lower grille area and then another opening up here. Also up here you'll find the front safety sensors that do run across, and right here you do have your front facing camera. And then you just get into this very cool looking and very nice grille. I mean, it's not a grille, it's closed off, but typically you would have a grille here, and I love all of the LED animations that this thing has. And in the center you do have the illuminated Cadillac badge right there. And I also like there's more chrome up here which goes into like the turn signal lights which are on the corners there. And then you get into your main lights. These are very nice. Like look how sharp these look. I love all of these bits and pieces inside, and it just stands out. And even more gloss black around here. So definitely a nice touch that they did with all of their EV lineup. And let me show you what the turn signals look like. So I'm just going to turn on the hazards so you kind of have an idea. So let me show you that. All right, the hazards are on, and as you can see, that is where they are located. All right, since this has no engine like I was mentioning, let's pop the hood and see what we have going on. So right off the bat, you can see all of the electrical components that are exposed. I do wish there was some sort of space here. I think there is enough room to put like frunk space, even if it's a small amount. If this had the frunk space, which I think it can fit, it would have looked so nice. All right, coming to the side of the Vistiq here, you can see the nice styling on this. Again, very similar to the other Cadillac EV models that Cadillac has. It's just that each model has its own unique features. So let me show you up top here, because this is very unique. Not only do you get this nice panoramic sunroof right here, right? But if you come to the back on the third row, you even have a glass for the back people here. But this one is fixed, it does not open or anything. And also up top, you will notice you've got the gloss black roof rails to match all the gloss black on this. Even like the top half of the car is in gloss black. So that's another nice thing. So you kind of get like this two-tone red and black, which again pops out. Another thing you'll notice, more chrome around the window trimming. And even down here, now this is something small, you have more of the gloss black. Typically you have like the black plastic or the rubber, but not on this. And if you look right here, this is a touch sensor for your keyless access. As for the door handles, right now the vehicle is unlocked, so they do pop out like this. But let me try locking the vehicle and see. So if I lock the vehicle, there you go. They pop back in, so you can see they sit nice and flush against the body. And you'll notice this right here within the handle, that is your LED light. So that's another nice little touch. As for your side mirrors here, these are also black, and then the bottom section is body color. You've got the built-in turn signal and the side mirror camera, which I'm going to show you once we get inside. And on the fender here, you will find this chrome piece that has another Cadillac badge, and right here is where your charge port is. So if you see this little indent, if you just press this, the door opens and there is all of your charging stuff in this. Very, very nice. I like the little light here, and then if I just press this, it closes. Even along the bottom of the vehicle on the side here, there is more gloss black, more chrome trimming, and this is all around the vehicle. Even around the wheels here, so pretty much the whole lower area of the vehicle is gloss black. And also up here, you'll have your reflective light. Now, as for these wheels, these are very, very nice. I love how these are set up. You have all of the aluminum going on, and then you kind of have like this granite insert pieces, which definitely pop out, and then the chrome Cadillac badge in the center there. And these are your 21-inch wheels. So if I do take a step back, you can see they fit this vehicle perfectly. And if you look on the rear glass here, you do have this nice etching. Now, this is not like on the outside. I think it's like within the glass, but it's a nice design that they added. Now let's come around to the rear and see all of the cool things that they've done to this. Right off the bat, you can see the unique features that this has. So let me start off at the bottom here. Again, just like the front, you have the gloss black all along the bumper here, and then this granite trimming that runs in the center, and then more of the gloss black in the middle there. And just like the front, you have your rear safety sensors. There's the reflectives back here, your reverse lights right there. And then to kind of separate the bumper and your tailgate, you have this chrome trim piece that stretches across. Again, the chrome pieces on this, it's not too much, it's the perfect amount, which stands out. And then you get into your tailgate area. So on this, you're gonna find your chrome Vistiq badge, the Cadillac badging right here, which if you press this, this is how you open up the tailgate. Right above it, you do have your digital mirror camera. And then on this side, you've got the 900 E4 badging. And then of course, down here, you do have your rear camera with a washer. Now, let me talk about these lights back here, because it's a very unique setup. You've got the lights right down here, you've got lights up here, you've got lights right there, a ton of lights all over the place. And now let me show you how I showed you in the front, the indicators on this, because it looks very cool at the back. So as you can see, the four ways are on. So you've got this light flashing, and this light flashing. But let me do the separate turn signal, because that's when this light looks way, way better. All right, so not sure if the camera's picking it up, but it kind of like dims out and goes into this big light. I don't know how to explain it, but you have to see it in person. But it looks very, very unique. And even on like this portion here, if you look at the housing inside, all of the details, very good. And even down here inside there, it does say Cadillac, so that's a nice little touch. And then you get up into this area here. Now there's more chrome trimming that runs across, and then up top you do have like this built-in spoiler with your brake light. And then if you look underneath, you do have your wiper, which is hidden away, so you have a nice clean look back here. All right, let's open up the tailgate and see how much room we have with this. So if I press this, it opens up, and since this is a 3-row SUV, like I was mentioning, you still have a decent amount of room back here for whatever things that you do want to go on your road trips. And I also like how you have this cubby area, so you can fit a little bit more things inside there. Right over here, you do have the aluminum plating for your protection. And then if we lift up the carpet area here, you do have like this sub trunk back here. So I guess it kind of makes up for not having a frunk. So you can definitely put stuff down here as well, groceries, charging cables and whatnot, hide them away, and then have stuff on top as well. Other things back here that you will find is this 12-volt socket, and then you have all of these controls. Now this is to control your second and third row seats. So for the third row here, let me show you how that works. If I just press left down it goes, and then I can even bring it back up for the third row. Now for the second row, it only folds the seats down. It does not bring them back up. And I just love having a feature like this because it's so much easier rather than going inside, folding down the seats manually, press of a button, and down they go. All right, let's head inside and take a look at what the new Vistiq has to offer. So opening the door right away, this trim stands out. It's a mixture of black, white, wood, chrome, all of that. But down here, let me show you, you do have actually quite a good amount of room, and you have a water bottle spot right there. Now this is something very, very small, but if you're someone like me that pays attention to detail, you see this trim here, how it's just fully plain, but here they've added some like lines and stuff, which in my opinion, it kind of looks good. And then you get into like this brushed aluminum look, which is actually your speaker. And this does have the AKG sound system in this. And in terms of the speakers that you get in here, you get 23 of them, which is insane. And then your armrest area is all of this nice white material. I love how this looks. If you have kids, maybe a little bit dirty, but you can't lie, it does look nice. Wait till you see the seats. And then up here, you have more of the chrome trimming. You've got the ambient lighting in this, and this beautiful, beautiful light wood trimming. And then you have another speaker up here. Now, I just want to touch on this area here. You have gloss black, your lock controls, window controls, right? But then you have this little latch here, how you open up the doors. So if I just do it up to here, this is how you unlock the door and open it. But this actually goes further up, so like this. And that's because if, let's say, the battery dies or there's no power to the car, that's how you manually release the door. All right, let's hop inside and show you what this thing has to offer. Now, I'm gonna start off in the third row and show you the seats, how they look and all that good stuff. Also the legroom and the headroom. And then I'll jump in the second row and show you the same thing. So in order to get into the third row, it's very, very easy. Now, before I show you, you do have this latch here, which you can just pull and it brings the seat down just like that. And one thing that I did notice when you do pull that lever is, yes, the seat goes down, but usually you should be able to pull this up. But with this, you do have to pull on this again in order to bring the seat up. I don't know why they did that, but I mean, it is what it is. You see how hard it is. If I just do this, use one hand and I can bring it up. Not too hard if you do get used to it, but still. Okay, now to get into the third row, it's very, very easy. You do have this button here, which if you press it, it unlocks the seat here, but it doesn't bring it all the way up. And that's because you got to do it manually. They should have just done it this way automatically, but hey, it is what it is. Now, let me show you in the back. You probably saw the second row seats, all white interior, very, very beautiful. And even the third row seats have perforated middle sections, the back section, and then you have like this brown piping in the center of the seats. Now this is on all of the seats. I don't know, there's just something about Cadillac's interior that makes it way better. Now let me jump back here and show you the legroom and the headroom. All right, so I'm back here and let me just put this seat back. Just like that. Now, I have a good amount of legroom, I'm not gonna lie, and this seat, of course, can be adjusted maybe a little bit more back, but even then, a very good amount of room. Now, in terms of the headroom, even that is good because look at all the space that I have, and there you can see you have your very own sunroof back here, which it doesn't open, it's a fixed glass, but still, you have something to look out for. But headroom-wise, very, very good. Now, the only complaint that I have, and I've said this on other vehicles that have this problem, I guess, is the seats back here are pretty much on the floor. You have no thigh support. There's nothing here that is gonna hold you up. So that can, I guess, get uncomfortable on a long road trip. And you also have this button right here. So if I just press this again, this is to get out of the third row. And then you also have these two buttons here. Usually you would think that this is to recline the third row seats, but you actually can't recline them. You can only fold them down and back up. So if you're coming in from this side, or if you have these seats folded down and you need to fold down the third row seats, you have quick access right here as well. And other things back here that you'll find is venting, a nice USB-C port. Of course, that's always good to have back here. A cup holder spot, and then a little bit of room right here, and then more of this padding. And then I like how on the other side it's identical because you have another USB-C port, so you're not fighting with the people back here. All right, let's touch on the second row seats now. You will notice that these are captain's chairs because typically you do get a bench seat for 3 people, but this one does have the upgraded option to have the captain's chairs. I think this looks way better in my opinion. Obviously, if you have more family members, the bench makes more sense, but this is way, way better. And let me show you now the seats here. Perforated sections all throughout the center here. You got the beautiful, beautiful piping, and then more piping here, kind of in like this silver color. And man, these seats are super, super super comfortable. Not only are they comfortable, but these two seats do come heated, which is a plus, and you obviously get your very own armrest. And then I like how you have the space in the center, so if you want to just scoot over from the second row to the third row, you can definitely do that with ease. Now let me jump in here and show you the legroom and the headroom, because in the third row it was pretty good. All right, so now I'm in the second row and I still have a good amount of room. Like I was mentioning in the third row, how I thought I had to move the second row seat back. I actually don't have to. The front person here can move it up, but I mean, I think this is as far like comfortable wise it goes, but yeah, legroom wise, second row very, very good. And in terms of the headroom, again, just like the third row, very, very good. So the room in this car, it's perfect, I think, in terms of legroom and headroom, especially in the third row. All right, now behind the driver and passenger seats, you do have like this hard material on the back, but it's all white, so it definitely looks nice. And then here you do have your storage pockets, which are on both of the seats. And now let me jump in and show you the rear center console area, because this is very, very unique. And on here you can just do a bunch of different things, obviously mainly for your second and third row heating and cooling system. So you've got all of that good stuff here. You've even got the heated seats right here, like I was mentioning, for the second row, and you can even control the third row from here, so that's good. And then even like the airflow and whatnot. And then you do have like the ambient lighting that you can even control from back here, so you don't have to do it all through there. So that's a nice thing that they've added to the rear screen here. And other than that, that's pretty much it. You've got the venting down here, some nice lines, more of the chrome trimming down here. You got USB-C ports, you've got an outlet right here. And then if you just open this, you've got your rear cup holders and then some tiny bit of space. And then even down here by the door, your door sill, it has a nice little badge that is illuminated. All right, let's check out the front and see what we have going on compared to the rear. So down here, you do have a little bit more of a bigger area. You got the same speakers, same everything else, other than this area here. You do have like more of that brushed aluminum trimming that is up there rather than the speaker. And then you just have your typical window controls, side mirror controls. You've got all of your heating and cooling seat controls, the driver memory seat buttons, all of your power adjustments, and your massage feature through here, which I want to show you inside. All right, let's check out these seats in the front. They are just like the third row, second row, very identical, but obviously these are a little bit more bigger, more comfier. And yeah, everything else is the same. And like I was mentioning, these are heated and ventilated and do have the massage feature, which is a bonus. And if you look at the headrests up here, they do have speakers on both of them that are built in, so this enhances your experience. And then down here, just like the rear, but you do have a bigger door sill piece that does have the Cadillac badge, and then this is also illuminated. Underneath, you just have your aluminum foot pedals. Here is how you open up the front area, and then moving up here, you have your electronic parking brake, tailgate button right here, and then your cluster dimmers. And then your venting, very, very cool. Like, it's so thin and just out of the way. And then you have like this gray trimming that stretches across the whole dashboard with the chrome trimming, and even the bottom piece here is in white, so a ton of white in this. And then of course your steering wheel is power adjustable. Okay, so when you enter inside of the Vistiq here, you do have this nice graphic that is on the screen here. But yeah, when you do close the door, the car pretty much just starts up, because some vehicles, even though that they're fully EV vehicles, they have a on-off button. I like that this is like this, because then you're not forgetting to turn off the vehicle or anything like that. So now let's say you go into drive and then you're at your destination, you put it into park and you open up the door, this little graphic shows up again. All right, now when you enter inside, your dashboard is massive on this. And so right here, like I was mentioning, you have that gray trimming with the nice designing and the lines. And then up here, you do have soft touch material. You've got more speakers in the corner there, which are on the other side as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it for your dashboard. And then let's get into here. So let me just put my foot on the brake here, and the vehicle comes to life. Now you get into this massive 33-inch LED screen. I love what Cadillac has done to their vehicles with these massive screens, and I love how it curves on this side, so you kind of have like the driver's focus. But yeah, this screen, the graphics on this are on point. And you'll notice on this side, on the left side of your massive screen here. You have all of your lighting controls under if you do press this light bulb image. So you can control the exterior headlights from there. You've also got your lane keep that you can control. If I click this, you can change the layout of this as well. You can see the map, energy, assist, and then of course, if I just press clean, it just gives you a nice clean look. And then for your gauges, here it is. You can see all sorts of different information on this. But yeah, this is what it looks like for that. And then of course, if I just press that, you can see your trip information. And then going back into layout, I've got all of my energy information right there in the center. I've even got my map. This does have the Google Maps built in, so that's always a good thing to have with a vehicle. Here is your assist features, so the screen changes accordingly. All right, let's touch on the steering wheel here. You've got the nice materials on this. You've got the gloss blacks, the chromes, all that good stuff. You've even got the Super Cruise bar right here. And then this little guy right there, that's for monitoring if you are paying attention to the road when the system is on. And the steering wheel does also come heated, which is a plus. And I also like how you have these little cutouts right here. This is nothing huge, but it does add a nice look to it. Now, on the left side of the steering wheel here, you do have all of your forward collision warning, cruise control settings. You have your Super Cruise button right there, your heated steering wheel button, and then here's the cruise control stuff. And then you have the V section right here. So if you do press this button, this is going to unleash the full potential of the vehicle. And then on this side here, you have more buttons, your cluster controls, the volume controls, and then music, phone, seat controls, Bluetooth, all that good stuff. And then another Cadillac badge in the center. And you will also notice you have a regen pedal on the rear here. And also behind, you have your front and rear wiper controls, high beams, and indicators. And the other side is your shifter. All right, moving over to the center armrest area, you do have the soft touch, almost hard material. And opening this up here, now it's not wide, but it does go pretty deep inside. And then you have another USB port inside. All right, now before I get into the center console area here, I want to touch on a few things. Now, first of all, you've got some space on the side here, more of that beautiful wood trimming, the ambient lighting strip right there. Now back here, if you look all the way here, you have some space, and this is for your wireless phone chargers. You've got two of them. Not only are the wireless charging pads there, but you also have more USB ports, which are for both of the sides. Not only that, you even got space down here to put more things. So a ton of room in this. I love what they did with the center console designing. Very, very cool. All right, now let's get into the center console itself. You've got more of like this brushed aluminum look, your front cup holders, and even the bezeling on this has the nice detailing. Also, you've got this rotary dial with the Cadillac badge. And again, even the detail on this is on point. And this is to control your touchscreen here, but obviously it's a touchscreen, so I think it's better to just touch the screen. You've got a few more controls here. Your back button, home button, your maps, phone, and music. And then right here is your little volume dial. And then like the rear screen in the second row, you've got it up here as well. So you can do pretty much the same thing on this. You can control the front row, second row, and the third row heating and cooling, airflow, all that good stuff. And then if I even go into the seats here, this is where you see all of your temperature stuff. So your heated, cooled seats, heated steering wheel, you can even control from here for the front. Here is your massage section, so you can turn it on and then also pick which kind of massage that you want. Same thing for the passenger side. And then you can also adjust your seats from this screen here. So not only from the controls right there, but through here as well. So I like how they added all of this to this screen. And then even in the center here, right below your touchscreen, is more of the brushed aluminum look, the nice sleek venting, and all of that continues pretty much down there. So now let's get into the best part, I think, which is the touchscreen. There's a ton of things on this that you can go through. So you've got the first page here, and then you've also got the second page. So let's go back to the first page and go through all of the stuff here. Now under vehicle status, here you're going to see a silhouette of the vehicle, as you can see. And there's a bunch of different plus signs. Whatever you click, it's going to show you all sorts of different information about your vehicle. You've even got the tire pressure, energy info, and air quality sections. Next is the different drive modes that this has. So you've got Tour, Sport, Snow and Ice, and then My Mode. And then I also like, depending on which mode that you do go in, the little animation changes at the back. And then also if you press I, this will kind of give you a nice little description of what that mode is if you're unfamiliar with it. And then also you have this little pedal thing here, which is your one pedal driving, and then you can set the level on this. You can turn it off, put it to normal or to high. So I like the flexibility that you do have with this. Then you've got My Cadillac. Once you do have your account connected, you've got Google Assistant, Play Store. Under charging, is all of your charging stats, your information, all the good stuff. So right now, if I'm charged to 80%, I'm gonna be looking at about 401 kilometers. But let's say I wanna go to full 100, you're looking at roughly about 501 kilometers. So within that 492, 501 range, give or take, that is what you are gonna be expecting from this. And yeah, so right now you're under charge now. So if you plug it in, it's gonna start charging immediately. If you go to charge later, you can set the time if you are charging it off peak hours. It's definitely beneficial. And then you can also do preconditioning. There's also this second section once you do have your My Cadillac account connected. Next, again, this is to create your schedule, and then you have your settings, all the good stuff through here. Here are all of the cameras on this. So here you have your rear view camera and then the bird's eye top view. So right now we're in the rear section, so standard. There's also the overhead, so the top rear view, and then your side cameras for your side mirrors, and then of course your hitch camera. And now for the front, it's the same thing minus the hitch camera. So you got the front view, you've got the overhead view, and then the side view right there. And then you've got your settings to turn off your guidelines and all that good stuff. Then you've got the settings section. So here you can go through a bunch of different other things that you can kind of fine tune to your liking. And then just like I shown you in the second row screen, you've also got the ambient lighting section through here. So you can do all sorts of customizations, brightness, styles, modes, just a ton of different things that you can pick from. Last on the first page here, you've got the auto park assist, and then moving to the second page, you've got the Wi-Fi hotspot, you've got the audio section right here for your AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, USB, and news. There's also the map section, like I was mentioning. This does have the Google Maps built in. You've also got the phone section, which once you do have your phone paired, and then under controls, you do have quite a few more things. Some of the things are repeated, like your camera, auto park assist, and whatnot. And then if I go to see more controls, it also brings up all of these, including your light controls. And then you just got the news section there again. All right, heading to the top, you just got your rear view mirror. Not only that, but it's also a digital rear view mirror, like I was mentioning on the exterior. And then moving up here, you've got this interior sensor. You've got the sunroof controls, sunshade controls, interior lights, all of your SOS, OnStar, and then your hazards as well. Here's the key fob for this Vistiq. It's a typical Cadillac key. All right, let's come around to the passenger side and let me show you what the dashboard, I guess, looks from this angle. So again, very massive. And then there's more of the gray trimming, the chrome trimming, the nice sleek venting. And then if you do want to open up your glove compartment, there's no latch or anything, and that's because it is all done through your control section here that I was showing you. So you just press glove box release and there it is. Here is the window sticker for this Vistiq. The pricing that you see is in Canadian dollars and maybe minus any discounts if available. Well, that does it for the review on this all new 2026 Cadillac Vistiq Luxury. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this?